Every married man I've ever talked to has told me, bro, do not get married. Have you guys talked to blue-collared workers that are married? They'll be like, fuck, I hate my fucking wife. If you've ever worked in a warehouse, then you know what I'm talking about. Those guys that will pick up mad shifts just to avoid their wife. So I always pose the same question to all of them. Bro, why do you hate your wife? They'll be like, bro, I'm working 12 hours, 16 hours just for her to fucking spend all this shit on Target, Starbucks. I fucking hate that bitch. Like, I'm out here slaving my ass off just to keep the roof on over our head, and she doesn't do anything. And I'm like,
I don't think it's that she don't do anything. I think it's more that she don't respect them. Blue collar workers are some of the hardest workers that you will ever meet. And they're happy to take care of whoever their family is. The underlying problem between between them and their wives are the wives don't really have respect for blue collar workers. They don't really care how hard you're working. A plumber works hard, extremely hard. People just think it's like in there just fixing a sink. No. Their work is extremely hard. And if you're a blue collar worker and you went in there and put in a boiler or a hot water tank or you fixing pipes, it's very strenuous work. When you go home, you kind of just want peace. But that can't exist if you have a woman because she needs attention and tending to as well, right? So when you don't do that because you're tired, she's really not trying to hear it. It's going to be a very rare case where a woman would allow you to just work and then come home and just relax. That's not going to last too long with most women in relationships. That's why the blue collar workers don't really like their wives or rather just pick up shifts and go work all day instead of just being home. Or she makes him feel like he's less than, but when he goes to work, when he doesn't come back with a big check, so he has to work to try to make up that to compensate for whatever he's not actually making out of, let's say, a big white collar job, somebody that work, in corporate somewhere that's making that kind of money and have those type of connections. It's not respected enough. Although plumbers make way more, master plumbers, way more than they make. Easy, which, but women is a dirty job. Women don't understand that.
Damn. He's like, yeah, to make it worse, if she's asking me how my day is, I already know she's going to ask me for some fucking money. So I'm trying to lighten up the mood and bring some positives about being married. I'm like, bro, at least you get consistent sex, like consistent buns. He's like, consistent sex? I have to beg her to get head and to get and she doesn't even do it right.
It's because she don't respect you, brother. He's just laughing at his pain. If she doesn't respect you, she's not going to be aroused by you. So therefore, she's not going to want to give you none of that. And that's partially her fault, but it's partially your fault too, as a guy that's sitting there working hard and just allowing somebody to do that. The reason why the woman would do that is because you will allow that to happen and still stay because you're stupid. So don't just go blaming her. She's only doing what she's allowed to do, what you're allowing to happen. You have no threats to her. All you're going to do is just go out there and work harder. While you out there working for 12 hours, she's having her fun with somebody else for at least 2.
They all say the same thing. The more you ask her, the more she holds off. And you can't cheat because she'll take half of everything. And then you can't leave because she'll take half of everything. I'm in a fucking loop, in a fucking cycle. And you know what's crazy? A lot of them, I'll ask them like, yo, do you think like you're getting cheated on? Some of them be like, yeah, I'm for sure getting cheated on, but
that's diabolical.
I just do this shit for my kids.
And people don't know the pain of that when it comes to a man. This is not to say that women is exempt from a certain type of pain in a relationship, but we're talking about men right now. With the men that go out there and work so hard and their women do not respect them and they cannot get no intercourse from them. And trust me, women are very, very sexual creatures. They're not just holding off for a month. It just doesn't work like that. You can't have the hot girls, summer girls, and then the ones that's okay, 6 months, I'm just fine. That's bullshit. All those girls is doing that. They're doing something, somehow. And they want it just as much as you want it. That is a fact if you've ever been outside before. If you never touched grass before, then maybe you'll say, a woman she cannot go for 6 months because she feels like it. Get the fuck out of here. In a marriage. No. It's not true. she's doing something with someone somehow and getting some type of off somehow, some way.
No, no, no. Like, imagine you want to leave your marriage and you're like, fuck, she's going to take half of everything. So, like, you literally have to stick through it. I want every man watching this, go and ask other men that are married, bro, should I get married? And 99% of them will be like, no. If you're not prepared for her to take half of everything, no.
To be fair, I think if you was to ask most women that, I think they would tell other women probably no. Because at some point we're gonna want to try to see that the grass is greener on the other side. So if you ask somebody, should I get what you have? And that person is already looking at the other side where they think the grass is greener, they're going to just be like, I'm just going to go to the other side. I think you should just go to the other side because humans just by nature just want whatever they don't have, even if they have an abundance, right? So it's like if you have an abundance of one thing, you're going to just want something else weird that somebody else got. It's never a ceiling for them. So to be fair, that's probably on both sides. And the men that do say you should get married, I have a lot of questions for them. I hear Andrew Wilson always talks about, getting married and the family. And I think personally, statistically, from the past, yes, if you are with somebody and y'all stay together and y'all raise kids together, the kids are way better off with the two-parent home. However, that depends on that home. The same way you can be with somebody and not be married and still raise children and they come out absolutely fine. So his worldview when it comes to marriage, or any man that's for marriage and say that other people should get married, not you got married as a man because you found somebody that was just perfect for you and you say, hey, I can do this. We're not talking about you. We're talking about everybody else should go out and do the same exact thing and just repeat that. If Andrew Wilson and everybody else says, okay, you should go out there and you should go get married, you're 2 letters away from destruction, which is no. So the question I would have for them, what if, just if, your wife says no? That's it. Those 2 letters, that one word, no. So when you say, oh, I need you to do, no. Hey, girl, I'm ready to get freaky. No. And she continuously just says, no. What do? She's incentivized and she's up if she goes in a lot of cases, especially if you have something to lose. Meanwhile, if you do the same, you get nothing. Where is it the win for you? So you basically marrying a woman in hopes that she never gets to the point that she wants to say no. Because once she says no, is absolutely nothing that you can do. And she will be more up than you would ever be up. And you will be way further down than she would ever be down.